is well, Pragg comes back to the board there. Fabiano thinking after his move, but this is still a lot of theory. Maybe we can back up and just do a quick run through the opening to show everybody. Fabiano, one of the deepest prepared players. His reputation kind of precedes him in all circles. But we'll run through the Catalan here and get caught up with the live game. Ooh, knight takes e6 already played, so we're gonna go quickly and get caught up. Go ahead.
Yeah. This is the main line of the Catalan, where white fianchettos a bishop, a really beautiful piercing bishop on g2. Temporarily, black is a pawn up, but that pawn disappears on the c4 square at the cost of a few temp. White's queen losing some time. And yeah, just to catch up with the current position, this is one of the main lines. There have literally been dozens and dozens of books written about this exact position. Therefore, one of the main moves, attacking a backward pawn. Black blocks that attack along the c-file, blunting white's queen's vision towards that pawn. And knight d2, a temporary pawn sacrifice, as we mentioned. Some short-term fireworks here. Knight takes d4, does win a pawn for black, until you notice that the bishop is hanging on b7. Black has to take on g2, and just before black is able to regain the knight on d4, white throws away that knight for the highest price. He takes on e6, attacking the black queen. The knight has to be captured, and the dust has settled here. Level material again, but black has an isolated pawn on the e6 square. Still a slightly backward pawn on c7 that's now attacked twice. Visually, it looks slightly better for white, I've got to say. But clearly both players have done their homework. Anna?
Yeah, I think from the time invested in these first couple of moves, it does seem like both of them kind of expected this variation, or both of them have prepared for this line. It is Fabiano who started spending a little bit more time here once we have reached this position. But I think he's prepared. I think he knows what he's doing, and now that the pawn is hanging on c7, most likely he will push that pawn, I would assume, pawn to c5. That will be a 2-in-1. The pawn is no longer to be captured, and it's also doing much better on c5. It's not a backward pawn anymore. I actually kind of like how it's a 3 versus 2 for black on the queen's side. So even though black has this weak pawn on e6, black is doing better structure-wise on the queen's side, and in an endgame that could be a potential passed pawn, while for white it's a lot harder to create a passed pawn.
I love that.
Ding as well. So Pragg has played some of these great knight and pawn endgames. But back to your question, yeah, I don't really know what's going on with Ding. Like maybe it's just the psychological pressure of having become the world champion when, I mean, most people assume that Magnus is still the best player in the world. So perhaps that's part of it. I really don't know what it is, but it's just very bizarre to see. And I would say that barring some huge change, I mean, I think right now Gukesh is a massive favorite to win that match. I would say, I mean, I said it before, even without the results of like the last round or this round, but I don't think that match is going to be close. And the more I think about it, I think it's very likely going to be in Gukesh's favor. So I don't know. I don't know what he can do. Not sure really.
Yep.
Maybe he should become a streamer.
Maybe he should
Just a
become.
suggestion.
I mean, it's fun to make jokes, but I mean, at the end of the day, I would say I think I don't think it's as simple as saying like he's playing bad chess. Like I could lose the next 5 games and I could be in a very bad mood, but that just means I'm playing bad chess. It feels like there's something more going on. So it's easy to make the jokes, but
I agree, and I think jokes aside, I think it's partly what we're saying is that he's not enjoying it, and you are enjoying playing chess, and it's one of those things that
it's easy to play chess when the results don't matter.
Right, and so you're in a different spot, and I think it shows.
Come on, King F6 Pragg. Finish the game. Finish the game off. King F6.
He's got only 20 seconds.
I mean, F5 also is good. F5 also probably just, yeah, I mean, F5 also works, yeah. King F6 and...
Time pressure.
Yeah, King F6 and then Knight D6. King F6, King G4, Knight D6, G6, G7. Push the P. Game over.
He did it. He's found.
I mean, you could also go for the beautiful Knight H6, King H5, G6 takes G7, King H7, King F7, which also works. But he'll go to D6 just because it's a little bit too stressful.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. I mean, H6 wins, but you see D6 and you can't stop the pawn. It's all over. So, yeah. A good win for Pragg. So.
Wow. I think.
Yeah, I mean, this is also why one of the things that I've said a lot is, I mean, ultimately, I do think the future of chess, when you look, 10 years down the road, the path is going to run through India. Because honestly, I don't think you can really say that any one of them are better than the others. I mean, on one hand, I feel like Arjun is the best. Sometimes Gukesh is the best. Sometimes Pragg plays these games, and you could argue he's the best. So it's very hard to see a world where if you look like 5-10 years down the road, at least